Alright, YouTube. So I've had this 81 GMC for a while now, and I didn't have the money to do a good tune-up on it, especially with the other problems that it was having when I first bought it. The dump pump went out, and it needing shocks, just different things, and this ran pretty decent, so it wasn't really a high priority. But today the organization had a little bit extra money, and so I picked up the cap and rotor, plugs, and wires. I figure I'll go ahead and get them put in. And my method of doing this is to just start, say, at the left front corner of the engine and go around in a clockwise motion, and at the same time you do a spark plug. You change the spark plug, put a new wire, run it up, put it on the same place on the cap as the old one goes to the old cap, and once you're all the way around, then you take off the old cap and replace it with this new one that's got all the new wires connected, and you put your coil and whatnot. And while it's off, you obviously do your rotor too. But so I'm gonna get on with that project, and hopefully the rain doesn't get me too wet. It's coming down pretty good, but this needs done, so I'm gonna get to it. Well, no sooner than I got the tools that I was gonna need to do the spark plugs, which is 5/8 screwdriver and pliers for undoing the wire holders, spark plug wire holders. And it just started pouring down rain really hard, so I'm gonna call this project. And also I got to looking at it, and I started thinking, you know, if I've got all this apart, I might as well do the valve cover valve cover gaskets. So stay tuned for all that. Stay tuned for the tune-up video and the valve cover gasket video on the truck. I just didn't want to get too deep into it in the rain, so I'm just going to add this little video to the end of the other video that I just did, and let you guys know what's coming up in the future. So hit like, hit subscribe, follow along with the channel. Till next time, believe in yourselves, keep building shit. Alright, YouTube, so I'm starting this tune-up. We got some decent weather, and I got somebody helping me to hand me stuff, so that I only got to climb up here once, thankfully. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to start at this front corner spark plug, and change the plug, connect a new wire, and line up on the cap, the new cap, where I'm connecting that wire at with the old one before I pull it apart. And that way, once I've gone all the way around the engine and I've installed a new plug in each hole, new wire connected to the proper spot on the cap, that way once I pull the old cap off, I can just swap the coil over and whatnot, and be done with it. Alright, YouTube, so at this point I've lost my helper, but I've finished this side. I've got all new plugs and new wires. I haven't gotten the last one connected because it's a little short wire, and I'm a little disappointed. There was a lot of really long wires in here, and I don't know, they're not seeming to fit quite right. But I got the old cap off, or the old rotor off, the old cap off too. I switched the coil over. I thought that I was buying the cap with coil, and I thought I was buying all of it, but obviously they didn't give me that. So to get this out, you gotta use a little socket and pull these two, and then once this pops off, then there's 4, and then there's the coil pack and some little connectors, and then there's a little ground strap, don't forget that, down at the bottom. So switch all that over, and oh, and there's a little button thing with a spring and a rubber deal underneath this too that you gotta change out if that's the way that you go, unless you just get the whole thing. My old wires had these little cap deals that popped into this, so once I pulled off the old cap, I just left this there, and I'm using that as reference. As I do each plug wire, I'm putting it to the new cap, you know, from, you know, remove the old plug wire, do the plug, and yeah, put it to the proper place, the new one to the proper place, reconnecting it. So now I just got to do the other side, and after I get this little rotor deal put back on here. Alright YouTube, so I got the wires installed on this side, and just for expediency's sake, I threw the old wires on in the correct spots so that when I do the other side, I'll just be able to pop them on. And I wanted to show you guys what I was talking about down here. When you tear this apart, you got a little button thing, and in this, just put the button in the hole with the spring up, and then put that over it. And then there's a little wire, or like a ground strap type deal, that comes from the middle down and over to this bolt. Don't forget that once you got this stuff out and you're changing it. Alright YouTube, so it's starting to get a little dark out here, but I got that side all done, routed up, new distributor cap, rotor, got this side all done, routed up. Oops, I better fix that wire. It shouldn't be hanging down like that. So I'll get that up there, pulled up. Like I said, this, I think it's just a universal set or something. I just went ahead and asked for a set that fit, and yeah, they came out really long. And another thing that was kind of odd is two of them had these straight boots and the rest had the normal ones. I just put them there because that was the only place that I could think that you know, say this came loose or whatever, that it might hit that manifold. So the other ones, they kind of come together and up or away. This one is able to come up and away, so that one, I figured if it comes loose, at least it'll come out and around instead of going against it. But who knows, somebody will probably comment and tell me what they're for, or tell me that I'm an idiot. I don't know. But the reality is, the point of this channel is just to get you guys to believe in yourselves, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not an expert. I just know that I've got these for a reason, and they're not to do evil, they're not to commit theft, they're not to sell drugs or do other things that I've done in the past, and they ended me up in prison for 26 years of my only 36 years of existence, which is pretty sad, you know. So the reality, or 24, what did I say? It's 24 years out of 36 years of existence. Either way, so I haven't had a lot of experience with this stuff. I started when I was a child. When I was 9 years old, I started getting locked up, and so I didn't have an opportunity to learn all these things and these life skills and whatever. But as I believe in myself, and I know that God made me for a purpose, and I dive into things and I figure it out. You know, I was able to accomplish this. I didn't have to pay somebody, and you know, I've been mechanical most of my life, but I didn't know what I was doing. That's my whole point. I didn't know what I was doing when I started this. I still really don't, but I accomplished it. I pushed through. I persevered, and I know that you guys can do the same thing if you believe in yourselves and maybe read some books, look at some YouTube videos as you're doing right now. You guys can do it too. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some tools put away and get this truck fired up. I'll let you guys hear it. And till next time, believe in yourselves, keep building shit. Alright YouTube, so there it is, she's running. I've got some other little projects to do. I still need to do the valve cover gaskets, get rid of that oil leak. I need to get a spacer for underneath here so I can bolt that down. Need a breather on the other side. It's just a tube right now. I'm gonna end up doing headers, getting rid of the stock manifolds. But overall, another project accomplished, and I know you guys can do the same thing on your vehicle. You just gotta believe in yourselves a little bit. Know that God made you for a purpose. So until next time, keep building shit.